What up? What up? Welcome to the very first episode of season 2 of the Let's Get Hype as Fuck podcast. And I already see I at least have my honey here watching from YouTube. So we should be live. It's not live. Go back, see if there's another one because I have issues. No, quit clicking into that event and just go to my page. See if I'm live streaming. Bear with me, just working out a couple things, making sure everything's working right. First show of the season.
Says you're live.
And I have a comment from you, so that's weird. I'm gonna check in on Facebook at least. Make sure we're live somewhere. All right. If you are here, please make a comment. I want to know if I have comments. I do already have my guest here
You're live on Facebook.
waiting, so we are at least live on Facebook. Thank goodness for that. So hopefully YouTube gets its ish together. But I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to bring my guest in. Everyone, please help me welcome our very, very special guest, our famous guest, Mr. Irish Bryan.
Yeah, apparently I'm famous. What's up, everybody?
What is up, Mr. Irish Bryan? Welcome to the show.
It's good to be here.
It's good to have you.
Thank
I
you.
don't know how to do this. Oh, here we go. Trying to get us equally equal here, but I don't know what I'm doing. First show, or hang in there with me, guys. I'll get this figured out. Don't worry. We got this. We got this.
We got people commenting already, huh?
Yep, we got some people commenting. We got my wifey over here. She's helping us share the stream out. How do I freaking...
Let me plug this on my Facebook as well. Oh, wait, I already did. Yep.
There we go. Much better. Okay. So, to get things started, my first question, basically, just kind of a introduction on yourself. Where are you from? If you'd like to tell us how old you are and just a basic kind of what you do for a living. As much or as little detail as you'd like to give.
Well, my name's Brian. I go by Irish or Irish Bryan. I'm almost 40 years old. I live in Arizona. I'm currently a licensed clinical social worker. For work, I do a few things actually. I left my old job about 4 months ago, and I had been a counselor for quite a few years. So when I signed up for this new job, I was like, I just want to be a counselor. So that's what I had originally signed up for. Then the director came to me and was like, hey, saw your resume. I want you to put together an entire rehab. She told me the amount of money the company would put up for me to create it. And I was like, all right. So half of the week I'm doing counseling, half of the week I'm working on the final touches to this drug rehab that I created all by myself. So that's what I do for work pretty much.
That sounds pretty awesome if you ask me. As ISO puts it, like Be Well Project, Mental Health Matters.
Yep.
What got you started in that background?
I mean, just look at me. You can't tell that I used to do a lot of drugs. Come on now. I started using drugs and drinking when I was only 12 years old. I had great parents. I want to start with that, but had a lot of bullshit happen when I was younger. A lot of things led me to make decisions based on what was in front of me at the time. At age 17, I was tricked by my wonderful parents into going to rehab. I was really drunk at age 17. It was one day after I crashed my car right into their garage. They pulled up into my bedroom in the morning and said we're going to go on a vacation. So I was like, hell yeah, vacation. And well, when I saw them driving into the middle of the woods for no reason, I knew something was up. Next thing you know, these two big dudes come out and they're like, we need you to come with us. And I'm like freaking out, like, what the fuck is this? Next thing you know, that vacation was straight to my first rehab. I did 6 weeks there. They fucked me up. If you look up CEDU, CEDU, Ascent, ASCENT, and then follow it by class action lawsuit, you'll get a general idea of all the ways that they abused everyone that went through there. So I made that known to my parents on the day that I got out of there. And because they didn't want me to like come home and be more fucked up, they sent me to my second rehab immediately after, which was all the way in Mexico, in Sonora, Bahia de Quino. And I stayed there for 14 more months. And after spending almost a year and a half in rehab, I was like, man, I don't want to do this bullshit anymore. And once I got out, I thought it would be my legacy to be able to help as many people as I possibly can. So that's what's got me here.
Talk about going from one end of the spectrum to the other. I mean, kudos and congratulations to you, man. That's as my wifey says here in the comments, those are some amazing accomplishments.
Nice. Thanks. Oh, I see it now. I need glasses, bro. Like, I really do.
So, in your own opinion, is this kind of what you had always thought you would end up doing as a career choice?
I mean, to be honest, when I was drunk and high, I thought I was going to be a famous rapper. Um, you should hear some of the dumb shit that I used to write on a piece of paper when I was only 16. I guess I guess the creator had other plans for me, you know what I mean? But once I turned 17 and once I got sober, it's all I ever wanted to do.
So, would you consider where you are kind of? I'm trying to adapt this question for someone who's not in the music industries. So,
Okay.
do you think you've made it in your line of work? You've made it in a sense to where are you where you feel you are where you want to be in this part of your life?
I mean, I think as far as my career goes, I believe in my heart that I found the specific job that I'm going to work at until my retirement. Everyone treats me good. Um, I couldn't have asked for better people to work with. And, I never honestly thought that, this dude that went to rehab at age 17 would be creating a rehab at age 40. But that's what I'm doing. And, they want me to be solely in charge of the whole thing. So as far as, the operations and everything, I feel like I've probably got another 25 years in me that I'm going to be spending at this company. So, yeah.
Nice.
Oh,
All right,
there's
so
Justin.
kind of jump topics here. Who are some of your inspirations or your idols?
My dad. I gotta say, my dad. Um, he died in 2021 of cancer. Um, that was some bullshit. Cause in June, I get a phone call and I come over here and my mom hands me the medical paperwork and says, I don't understand this. Can you read it? I said, well, I've been working technically in the medical field since 2007. Let me take a look. And the document indicated a numerous lesions on the liver, malignant stage 4 cancer with indications of affected regions being heart, lungs, kidneys, liver. And I looked at it and I said, my dad's gonna fucking die. This is bullshit. And what's crazy is 6 months prior to that, he went to his doctor and he said, I'm coughing a little bit. They did all these tests on him and was like, you're fine. Then they didn't even know he had cancer at the time. When I came down here on June 20th of 2021 or 19th or whatever it was, um, I didn't expect him to die probably about 10 hours after I got here. And he looked at me, and he said, I lived a good life because you're part of it. And if I could tell you anything, I want you to give up that bullshit job and go work somewhere that appreciates you, you know? And so once he died, that bullshit job that I was at only gave me 3 days for bereavement pay and had instructed me to come back in 3 days after my dad died. So I didn't even really get a good chance to really feel through that at the time. And then from there, I told him, well, my big fuck you to you is that if you want me back 3 days after my dad dies, I'm going to take his dying wish and go somewhere else. And so that's what I did. He always encouraged me when I was younger, and then I gotta give respect to my mom because she's dealt with my bullshit for almost 40 years too. So, hmm
I give respect to you and your mom for all of that because I know there's quite a few of us who, kind of, you were very open with that struggle, and there's quite a few of us who got, who watched a lot of that and kind of went through a lot of that with you. So, I mean, that was a struggle. We were, I hope a lot of us were there with you and cheering you on through all of that.
Yep.
And it's good to see you on the other side now. And I don't mean
Yeah.
that as, in any kind of harsh way, as if to mean that you're past it, because I know you never really get past those things. But to see you take it and move it in a forward, positive motion in your own life, that's freaking fantastic, man.
So yeah, the thing about life in general is I like to explain life like this: is that things don't get easier, we get stronger. And some people hate that cliche, but I put it like this. If you go into the gym for the very first time and you got a trainer and the trainer tells you, hey, I want you to pick up that 200-pound weight, right? You're going to be like, oh, that's a shitty trainer. Fuck this gym, right? Well, that's why you start with, the little weights. and you work your way up until you become strong enough to carry the big weight. See, I wasn't ready for that big weight, but after it happened, you know, I started implementing a lot of techniques that I've learned over the years that I teach to my clients in general. And I feel like life is like working out a muscle, you know. Either either you get stronger and you deal with the bullshit that life gives you, or you break, you know.
Absolutely. Adapt or die. All right. Here's some interesting questions for you. Is there anyone special in Mr. Irish's life? Is there a boo thing that you're keeping in
No,
secret?
no, 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 listen. No, absolutely not. Yes, but no. I'm probably gonna piss a lot of people off with answering this right now. You know, because I know what my DMs look like. I'm not gonna lie about it, but no. I look at it like this. If I'm single, I'm single. Like we can flirt right here in the comments section right now. That's how I treat it. But if I'm taken by somebody, it's like I show them off. I'm loyal to a fault. Once I'm in a relationship, it's like that's what it's gonna be, and I'm gonna give up, you know, all the flirting and all the talking to all the people that I talk with, because you know that's just my MO, dude. I like to feel good. Like I'm not gonna sit here and lie about it and be like I don't chat up people, you know, because that shit fucking makes me feel good. But if I'm taken, I'm taken, and that's it. The last one that I dated, she ended up posting a video on her social media of the guy that she was cheating on me with, and then got mad at me for calling her out on cheating on me after she made it known while we were in a relationship.
So, in other words, ladies, hit them comments. This man is, look at him. He's single and looking.
I
And
don't
he's
know
a
that
hell of a
I'm
guy. Trust
necessarily
me.
looking.
Well, okay, maybe not looking, but he's available. So if you're looking, throw out one of them sexy, flirty comments. And while I got a second, shout out to Christina Baker. Thank you for watching. I seen Malex, Justin Kane. Of course, always my honey, Sunray, Nikki, Lady Rattle, and Angelina Franges. Thank you. I hope I said your last name right. Thank you all for tuning in. Let's see. All right. Do you have any haters right now that you would like to just address and be like, "Hey, look, I don't give a fuck about you, and here's why. Here's how this is
so
what I think
so
about it too."
here's the deal, dude. If you're gonna hate, you're gonna watch me. You're gonna watch what I do. You're gonna watch how I move. I feel like haters are your biggest fans, because doesn't like nobody supports you and watches you and comments on your shit the way that a hater does. And they don't realize that they're just supporting an algorithm within the confines of the internet, and the internet is stupid. It doesn't know if a comment is negative or positive. It just sees a comment and it says, oh, this person must like the video. So it pushes it to more people. So if you're mad at me about something that I did or said in the past, right? That's in the past. Like I don't live there anymore. First of all, second to that, you know, prior to a year ago, all my medications were really fucked up. I almost died in December because of bad medicine. So if you're gonna hate on me, hate on my doctors, hate on the people that fucked me up. And if you still got hate in your heart, leave a comment about it and I'll put it on a t-shirt and wear it to work. That's how I feel about it.
Amen. And I can't agree more. I personally love my haters because every single time they want to try to make something out of nothing, it has only benefited me. So I have no problem having haters. I encourage them, in fact.
You know, I do not care. You know, I do not care what people think about me. I care what people think. I do not care what they think about me. You know, just so we can get that clear.
What are some strategies that you would recommend for anyone or even yourself to continue growing in a positive manner, just in general? Like, if you have a life goal, what is just one thing you'd be like, here's what I recommend to go get it?
Mm. So, like, I think the one thing that kept me going is I met this guy named Dr. Worley. He's a really crazy motherfucker, like like in the best way. And he showed me this quote that says that the only constant in life is change. So if you feel pain, know that your pain too will change. You know, this moment that you're feeling where you're like, man, I don't know if I could make it. I don't know if I can hold on. I don't know, um, you know, if I got one more day in me. Just remember, this shit is temporary, right? Like, there have been a lot of times that I'd found myself depressed, mostly because of my bipolar disorder. And I just had to keep reminding myself, you know, this shit is going to pass. Like, you look in the DSM 5, you're going to see that, you know, for my particular diagnosis, that this is an up down roller coaster, right? Which means that if I'm down, I'm going to have an up soon. So I better hang on, because you know what? If today feels like shit, tomorrow might not. And if you take your own life now, you're basically making a decision that, based on the evidence that you have in front of you, that there is no possible way that the entire rest of your life couldn't have even just one moment that could possibly get better. And I think that's a big decision that people make when they decide to take their lives, because they fail to see that there could be a possibility that, even just maybe sometime, whether soon or later, that something could even get a little better. And the decision that people make when they decide to take their lives is that, I am absolutely certain that this will never get better, and they're blinded by the amount of depression that's put in front of them when they make these decisions.
That is some deep shit. And ladies and gentlemen, that is why this man is in the career he is in. Dang. And before we go any further, you do have to pay for the services professionally. So unless he gives you special privileges, stay out of his DMs. He will not
Yeah,
personally therapy you.
I don't work independently, so therefore, I mean, I'm independently licensed, but I don't work independently. Therefore, um, I would not be authorized to provide private counseling. Second to that, my license is only in Arizona, which means I couldn't counsel people outside of the state of Arizona. And third to that, if I know you personally, it would be an ethical violation for me to do so. But if you just want to bullshit and talk about how you're having a bad day, like, I guess we could do that.
Is there any specific celebrity that you would absolutely love to meet more than anything?
The AT&T girl, on God. Like, have you not seen her? Now, first of all, she be looking like all mid, like super mid on those AT&T commercials. But if you look her up on Google, on everything I love, man. Not only that, but like one of the main reasons why I like her so much is because she, in every interview she's ever had, has stood up for women's rights. And I mean that shit is attractive, dude. The way that she talks about how women should be able to wear what they want in public and not be harassed by dudes. Like, you aren't gonna find like a mainstream celebrity that stands up for those kind of issues. You know what I mean? Like, I was raised by my dad, and he told me like this. He said, "You don't have to understand women; you just have to respect them." So to see a celebrity of whatever gender that stands up for that kind of stuff, like dude, that does it for me. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. I love that answer. It looks like a lot of all of our viewers did too. I don't think anyone was expecting that one.
Moana Weintraub, I think is her real name.
Who
Yeah.
who is one of the biggest celebrities that you have met?
Shit, man. I've met a lot. I've met Skits Craven. I was backstage with him kicking it. Um, Nick, what was his name? Nick, the greatest kicker ever in the history of ever for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I can't remember his name right now. Nick something. Um, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you know who the fuck I'm talking about. But I got to meet him. He was pretty cool. I mean, I've met everybody. I've met Stevie Stone, JL, UBI, Tech, King ISO, King Cash. I think the only person, celebrity wise, that I bullshit with like on a regular that I haven't actually met is C Mob. Um, like I bullshit with him enough to where I can talk about it. You know what I mean? And feel like I'm not just like, oh yeah, we talk. You know what I mean? It's been a while since I've actually messaged him though. Um, I've met Whitney Payton. She's pretty cool. I bought a weird shirt from her once. It was actually a cutoff, and it showed my entire belly, and I thought it was the funniest shit. So I went wearing it around for one day. So yeah.
Is there anything that you just absolutely are like, hey, I've done this, I want everyone to know? Like, this is your spot. Go.
Something that I've done that I want everyone to know. I've completed a lot of food challenges. I once ate 41 entire pieces of pizza in one sitting. Um, I've done ghost pepper challenges, Carolina Reaper challenges. Um, I don't know. I mean, there's that. But as far as something that I would want people to know, I used to be a photographer. I'm internationally published. Um, Used to work with a lot of models. To be honest, that's not as fun as it sounds. Um, I'm in 3 movies. I have an IMDb. A lot of people don't even know that about me. You
No,
know,
I did not know. Drop the
I'm
names
in
of
a
all the movies.
movie called The Trigger with Slade Pierce, who was in the movie Miss March. I'm in a movie called Vengeance with Drew Moore, who used to play on, I don't remember what team, but he was in the NFL. He died like about 4 or 5 years ago, and I'm in another movie that hasn't come out yet, and I don't even know what they named it, to be honest with you.
Dang. Well, dude, that's freaking badass. I didn't
Nick
even know that.
Lowry, that's his fucking name. I met Nick Lowry. That's the dude I met.
Of course. Mama knows all. In case anyone was wondering, that's when Mama B Hood is the celebrity who, in my mind, celebrity that I is my C mob to you. She's the one that I talk to regularly enough to say that we're close, but I haven't actually got to meet her yet. Too many just little things always seem to screw it up for both of us every time we try.
I
Weather
met her.
mostly.
I met her. That was cool. I brought my buddy Aaron. We ended up buying this glow in the dark coaster looking thing that was like video game themed. She makes a lot of cool shit, dude.
I have a lot of it. And I've even met you. We met last year. Was it last year?
That was 1 month before I ended up in the hospital because my medications were toxic. So, to be honest, I don't remember a lot from that night because looking back at the timeline, my medications were probably toxic back then as well. So, but it was cool, dude. We yeah, Jelly Roll, Red Rocks. That shit was dope.
Oh yeah. I don't really remember much from that night either, other than I almost died and you saved my life. So thanks. And it was
Yeah, that
fucking butt
happened.
ass cold. It was cold. That's what I remember.
Yep.
All right. So I don't really have. I have one last question. So is there anything else that you just want to chit chat about?
Mm. Um, Let me think. I mean, I think I think mental health is really important, and I feel like if anybody's watching this, you know, I think I have watched and I have observed things all over my TikTok. People that go on these random rampages about how every therapist they ever met they felt like they couldn't talk to because that their therapist just put them in a hospital and all that shit. I think as far as general stereotypes go about therapy, that's one thing I wanted to air out is although yes, we have a legal obligation to make sure people are safe, I want to assert that it is in my belief that a good therapist will recognize that most people who are actually going to take their own lives most likely aren't going to be like, well, you know what I want to do? I want to go to my therapist on this day that I have intended to take my own life and tell him about how bad life is, knowing he's going to put me in the hospital, right? No, people don't work like that. I think the reason why people come to therapy and start talking about how they're feeling like life isn't worth living is because they expect the therapist to be able to give them something better than what they came in with. And I think it is the mark of a very lazy therapist if somebody comes in and says, I don't feel like living, and the therapist is like, cool, man, I'm going to send you to the hospital, right? I feel like there's a lot of therapists out there in general who are lazy in that sense, who are scared of a lawsuit, etc. Like I'm not, you know what I mean? Like I've got a whole entire board backing my decisions. So like if you come to me, right? Like if you come to me and you tell me, I feel like hurting myself or whatever, just know that in the last 17 years that I've been doing this, there's only been about two or three out of probably 10,000 people I've worked with that I've actually had to send to the hospital. And the reason for that is because I make it my I make it my duty to make you, like, to help you to be in a better position than you came in, right? And and I think it's just it's really disheartening to hear the amount of people that are so scared of therapy nowadays and so like pissed off at therapists because all they do is send people to the hospital. And I won't argue that that doesn't happen. I think, it happens way too often because people are just scared of getting sued, scared of doing their jobs. Like, God forbid, and I think there's a big difference between saying, oh, like, I don't feel like living, and saying I have a gun in my pants, I'm going to shoot myself. Those are two different things. And I think too many therapists, take somebody's words of, oh, I don't feel like living as an immediate threat, right? If somebody was an immediate threat, waving a gun in the parking lot, that's very, very different than, somebody saying, I need you to help me. If somebody's reaching out to me saying, I need you to help me, and all you do is send them to the hospital, now you've put a bad taste in their mouth about what a therapist is, and you didn't do shit for the root problem. And then they're going to be forced to come back to you after they get out of that hospital, knowing they can't even talk about what's really going on because you'll send them to the hospital again.
Yep. So is it, I see a comment in here, is it kind of safe to agree that in a sense they don't want to fix you because that's an end to their cash flow in a sense?
I mean, look, for a lot of these out of pocket therapists, and I'm not gonna, like, bash on my own profession, but a lot of these out of pocket therapists, the problem and the reason why a lot of these therapists who work in their own little office that are out of pocket cash only is because the process to get an insurance company, let me turn this light on. The process to get the insurance companies to cover your services as a therapist who works in their own office is such a hassle that most of these therapists who have their own offices are cash only, right? Now, I got nothing against these cash only therapists, but God forbid that I ever go out of pocket and I know in my head that that's going to be $200 that I don't get if this person doesn't come back, which is why I've always and will always only work with entities that cover 100% to the insurance. I have never and will never work with an individual who has to pay a single dime for the services that they come to see me for, because I feel like if the insurance companies are going to pay for it, they should pay for it. So as far as I'm concerned, if a client comes in and they're like, I don't want to come here anymore, it's no sweat off my back because the insurance companies are paying my company to pay me. You as a client are not paying a single dime for what I'm doing for you. So the last thing I want to hear, is, oh, you're here for the money. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you're not paying a dime. And that was a decision I made. And every single job that I've ever had was to work in such a way that nobody that comes in to see me ever pays a dime for what I do.
Good for you. And I truly believe that something as important as mental health and a lot of things we should follow, a lot of our other countries, and I don't think that we should be paying as much as we do for those kind of services in the first place.
So let me tell you something about therapy that a lot of you people that are listening might not know. In case you are considering a therapist, I will give you my personal opinion. If you look up BetterHelp on Google, you will find that in 2020, right? And I can't get sued for this statement because it's already been legally substantiated to be true. If you look up the BetterHelp in 2020 on Google, you will see that the FTC launched an investigation into BetterHelp. You will see that what was substantiated was that BetterHelp was found to be in was found to be guilty of violating how do I word this? Violating clients' rights as it pertained to confidentiality. You will find that what occurred was that they were sharing private, protected health information with third party companies without a signed release of consent from BetterHelp to these third party companies for the purposes of boosting advertising. It is illegal to utilize somebody's protected health information and give it to anyone without the consent of an individual. I want to make clear my personal opinion. If I were to be picking a therapist, I personally would not choose BetterHelp based on the fact that they had violated the rights and the confidentiality of individuals on a mass scale, resulting in what was a $7.8 million class action lawsuit for confidentiality violations. Do with that information as you see fit when making a decision to find your own therapist, if that is something you want to do.
Some good information. Again, it was a lot of information, so this will be available to be watched again on YouTube at any given time. Just a little heads up there. And thank you, Brian, for
people,
all the information.
Unbiased opinion. Some find talking to strangers helps. Okay, Christina, unbiased opinions. That's very interesting. I personally think, and I just want to touch on this really quick because I just read the comment. I think a good therapist won't be giving opinions or advice. I think if you ask me what I think a therapist actually does, I would like to put it like this. As a therapist, my job is to manipulate you into making the very best decisions for yourself, then trick you into thinking it was your own idea, then praising you for coming up with it. I don't offer advice. I use what's known as Socratic questioning to get you to come up with your own ideas and for you to figure out what's going to be best for you. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people have probably told you what you need to do with your life, and that's what's brought you to therapy to begin with. So I think the very last thing that you need is to pay somebody $200 to tell you how to live your life when everybody that got you to therapy in the first place already did that.
I feel like that's some good advice, personally. I can agree with that. Yeah.
So there's that.
All right. So my last question for you, just before we forget here, is what is your favorite dinosaur?
Fucking dinosaur? I don't know which dinosaur is thick. That's what I'm into. I'm into thick creatures that roam this earth. You know what I'm saying? Like oogly moogly, that thing is juicy type of dinosaur.
I feel
like
like you're a triceratops man then. They're
Like,
big. They're bigger, but they're not too big. They got the beef to them, but they got a little junk in the trunk, and they have
so
fancy appendages.
so like a triceratops has like a
Yeah,
juicy dumper. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's your dinosaur.
That's what I'm into, man. You know,
Thick is the word you're gonna give me.
I like creatures that have little more meat on them, you know, in this world. You know what's really funny, dude, is so I went to I went to this what was it? It was this festival last year, and they had all these animals and stuff, and it was me, my buddy, and his girlfriend, right? And and we went around to these pigs, and I swear on everything, these pigs had the biggest asses of any animal I'd ever seen. And we were zooming in, taking pictures of these pigs' asses, talking about, damn, these pigs are thick. You know what I'm saying? Like, all I'm saying is, if you are a creature that inhabits this earth, and you are breathing, and you are eating, and you are living good, and you are thick and juicy, you're probably in my top 10 favorite list. So as far as big, thick, juicy dinosaurs, I'm probably gonna say um brontosaurus, dude. Is that a dinosaur?
Yes.
Them things are thick, and you know they got them big tails too. You know what I mean? Like, probably need like 3 rolls of toilet paper looking thick. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, probably more than that, but I think we get your gist. That's great. I want some bacon now. Oh, jeez. Thick, fatty bacon. Thick. That is so great. Does anyone who is watching have any comments for Mr. Irish or myself, or just want to pipe
Chris,
in? Feel free at any
Christina,
time.
don't say that about yourself. Don't say that about yourself. Don't you talk about my friend like that. You got a
Listen to
thick,
him.
juicy personality.
Well, unless anyone has any questions, I think that is all I have. So, like I said, I mean, the floor is yours, Irish. I don't really have any more questions. I had a blast.
Yeah, this has been cool. Been looking forward to this for a minute, man. I've just been, I mean, my life now, dude. Look. I understand there are probably people younger than me, and there are people older than me that are going to be watching this. But if you are younger than me, I am telling you right now that once you get to be about 35, things start to slow down. You get to be 40. Like, what do 40-year-olds do? You want to know what I do? Is I work, I come home, and I stay home. And that's it. Things are so fucking expensive that if somebody asks me, like, you want to go somewhere? Like, girl, I can't afford that shit. And they'd be like, what are you talking about? It's only Denny's. I'm like, I can't afford shit. You know what I mean? So I just stay home. I just chill, so to be able to, like, have some kind of interaction, um that's what I live for, is human interaction. I think a lot of us do. So to be able to be here to bullshit, it's a good break from my normal routine, which is just stay home every weekend.
Well, I'm glad I could help you out, and you helped me out because I'm in that same exact situation. And even though I'm still sitting at home doing this technically the same thing, I'm doing something different and I'm interacting. So thank you in return for the same exact thing, because I was feeling that. I know exactly
Mhm.
where you're coming from.
Tax
It's
returns are coming soon.
my
You know,
favorite.
I have I have no, I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have no PTO because of this new job. So it's going to be like quite some time before I get some PTO. But when I get some PTO, I'm just saying, like, probably this time next year, right around tax return time, like, we should kick it, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll like drive up there and we'll bullshit. Like, is there a dinosaur museum near you?
Absolutely, less than 20 minutes away from me.
I'm just saying we should take pictures of like thick dinosaurs. I'll straight up like Photoshop them for you, you know?
Yeah, and definitely want to do it in summertime because, like Christina pointed out, it's like Alaska out here right now. It's like -10 outside,
Mm,
so it's not fun right now. That's for sure.
mm.
But I
Yeah,
definitely
it's
agree
not.
with you. There needs to be some thick dinosaurs in our future.
I'm just saying, man. Like, do you think dinosaurs twerked on other dinosaurs? Like, how do you think
Dude, no,
dinosaurs convince other dinosaurs to like create new dinosaurs?
they do. I have seen videos of freaking dinosaurs. I I I think it's close enough to consider calling it twerking, okay? Like I have seen this shit. I'm gonna try to pull up this video because it exists.
I mean, I'm all for it, dude.
And it's how they mate. It's their mating dance, and it is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my
That
life.
sounds good.
I don't know. My tablet died again, so that's not gonna happen, god damn it. Stupid piece of crap.
I mean, I do have a Costco membership for any females watching this that are interested. Like, I could afford a lot of toilet paper, so if you are the type of lady that uses a lot of toilet paper, if you're catching my drift, I get them in family size. I could be your fantasy. I could be what you need. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, some of the comments in here. Like, like really, Christina? Really? Girl, I freaking love you. Jeez.
Mm. Oh, and before we get into anything else, follow me on TikTok. Follow me on TikTok, people. I had like 3,000 followers, and I had to start that shit over because my stupid fucking ex got my original shit banned. But like, follow me on TikTok.
Absolutely. Feel free to shamelessly promote yourself on any platform. Irish Bryan, I
Yeah.
believe it's Irish Bryan throughout everywhere. Go follow him. I will when you rewatch this video on Facebook, I will have links to his personal profile and I will also drop a link to that TikTok as well. So rewatch this later and check those comments for links. Wait, what now?
The size of the sexual parts. See, then that's crazy. Like people talking about the size of dicks. Like, listen, first of all, like I'm sorry to do this to you, but I need to spit some real facts right now. If size matters, why do girls just be moaning over one finger talking about size matters when like everything about your anatomy tells me that it does not? Did you
Ladies,
not laugh at that?
ladies, I want. Come on, you guys with the dirty comments here. Let's hear it. Come on. Where's your laughy faces now? What the
Size
heck?
don't matter.
I'm gay. I don't really think I can answer this question. So, I mean,
Yeah, just saying. Sorry, Debbie. Sorry about that. I forgot about the demographic of the people who are
yeah,
watching this right now.
probably are a few moms watching in here.
Sorry. Sorry and shit.
Hey, I think Mama B knew what she was getting into here. Like, if anyone doesn't know what they're getting into with Irish, like, I don't know where you've been.
Yeah, man. Just saying.
Oh my gosh, I found it. This is ridiculous. So,
Wait. Somebody said they're horny. Let me see who
all right,
that is.
I found this video. Hopefully, you guys can see it.
Let's take a look at this.
It's the work of a 2-ton, 12-foot-tall chronotaurus, a male.
Look at that thickness.
Running this perch has taken him
Juicy
not
dumper.
It needs constant attention if it is to remain tidy. It's a stage on which he can show off to females. All is ready, and he announces the fact. His calls are low-pitched and travel much farther through the dense vegetation than higher-pitched ones would do.
Look at that. See, that's what I'm into right there.
At last, a female arrives.
Girl looking like a whole blessing right now.
She's bigger than the male and more powerful.
Parental advisory warning.
Now, somehow, he must impress her.
Don't worry about it. Just keep watching.
You get just one chance. She watches him carefully.
Just keep watching. It'll get good.
He must do so in the most extraordinary way.
Ladies and gentlemen, the dino version of a twerk.
Hey, Jesse, they're saying there's no sound. Oh, wait, they got sound.
He doesn't have huge antlers nor a spectacular tail. But he does have a pair of tiny, apparently useless arms. And each has a ball and socket joint at its base that enables him to move them independently. Not today.
And that's a fail. The sexy arms don't work. But I'm sorry.
So,
That shit is fucking ridiculous. I love it.
so basically, what I took from that is that in order for me to find my future wife, I gotta pop into her DMs and be like, this,
Yes. With
like,
the tiniest arms you can.
like, ladies, does this do anything for you?
Make sure you posture your neck as well.
Is this what you're into? Is this why I'm
I
still
see a lot.
single?
I see a lot of happy faces in the comments. Maybe it is. I think we just might have, landed on something here.
I'm just saying, like, that might just work, bro. Like I pull up into somebody's DMs, just like they'll probably be like, you know what? I can't say what I'm thinking because that shit'll probably get me in trouble. So I'm not gonna say that.
Totally works for Christina. Oh shit.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna pull up into somebody's DMs like this, and they're gonna be like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna get that disability payment out of this one."
Oh God.
I got what you need, girl.
I am not responsible or liable for any DMs that may come out of this podcast. Just saying. Oh shit. Oh my goodness. All right. I think that at least for me, I'm gonna ask our watchers one more time if they have any more questions for Mr. Irish Bryan before we call it a show, because that was, I mean, we're about an hour. That's about as long as usually I go.
It's much longer than I've ever went.
Mama B Hood, at least she saved DMs.
Wait a minute. Your mom is in this? Bro, your mom's watching this?
Yep, I don't know when she popped in, but I see her in there too.
Oh. She'd be watching everything I do. That's nice.
Of course. Daddy Irish over here. Yes, I am. She even agreed.
Oh.
All right. Well, yep, I think that's going to do it for this show, unless there's anything else. I'm done here. I ain't got nothing. Any more comments? If you got a comment, question, let's see it. Drop
Wait a
it in
minute.
there.
So your mom is now my wife, which makes me your dad, which means that mean that I've been cheating on your mom, which is my wife, with my DMs. Fuck, bro. I hope she doesn't come at me in court. I'm just airing all this shit out.
Mom, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. You know, Irish, we're pretty fucking poor family over here. Don't give her any ideas.
Yeah. I like people in need. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I got what a lot of people need, which is love, happiness, the ability to laugh. See, I think, and before we go, I think of it like this. Like, I've made it like my life goal to just make people laugh, right? So, like, if I make you laugh, if I entertain you, good. If I don't, and you feel some kind of way about that, I just want you to go live your life and find somebody else that will.
Amen to that. I don't know why you need to be sticking around calling people fucking down for no reason. If we're not your flavor, just move along. There's no reason to be rude. Just walk by. Go live your life.
So I expect people to be in my DMs after this live ends so that we can bullshit, share memes, laugh a little bit. If nobody's in my DMs, I'm gonna come back here and I'm gonna call people out by name. I'm just saying, I need that energy. Y'all had that energy here tonight. We're gonna keep that energy up on my Facebook right after this. That's how I feel.
That's right. I just woke his ass up from a nap, so he's ready to go. Go blow up
For
that
real, dude.
DM. Go post
My
some
mom.
shit on his
m-
timeline. Go do something.
See, I don't live with my mom, but I'm just visiting my mom just to make that clear. I fell asleep. She pulls up into my bedroom like 15 minutes before this shit talking about, honey, I think you have an appointment. You don't want to be late. I'm sitting there like, "Oh, okay."
Real shit. Half an hour before the show, I was a little worried, like, oh no, where the fuck? He's not answering me. What the fuck? So, shout out to the Irish mama
My word
for
is
saving the
bond,
day.
dude. If I say I'm gonna do something, expect that I'm gonna pull up. I'll move mountains to keep my word.
And mom will help.
Yeah, mom woke me up.
All right. Ooh, yep. And there goes my alarm. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for me. Thank you for joining us tonight, Irish. I had a blast. You were more than welcome to join us on any other show, any other time. Just let me know. We'll make it happen. I'm more than
Sounds like
happy
a
to
plan.
bullshit with you. Uh,
I
thank you
don't. To
so,
be
so much.
to be
Go ahead, sir.
honest, like I think one question that you didn't ask me before we go is like, why am I even here? Like, I'm not famous, right? Or am I? Like, what's the deal with that? What is the general consensus from the people that follow me and watch me? Like, why me of all people should I be the one picked to be on this podcast? You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, for me personally, I can answer that question, but I want everyone watching to drop the answer to that question. In your opinion, why is Irish on this show? Is he famous? Yes or no? Famous, not famous. But for me, you're famous. I have your autograph. I just love you for you. You're my friend, and I support my friends no matter what or who they are.
Dude, I signed my autograph for you on a dollar bill and wrote on the back of it, not for pot.
And I have not spent it on pot, no matter how broke I've been. That is a freaking memento. But long story short, in my opinion, if you are able to give other famous people your autograph and they are excited about it, you're pretty freaking famous in my book, man. So,
Yeah, I just be doing shit because it's funny.
but I also support my friends no matter what they do, and I consider you a friend. And I don't care what it is
Yeah,
you
hell
do.
yeah, dude.
You wanted to be on the show, so you're more than welcome to be on my show.
I didn't give your mom my autograph. Now I'm gonna make it my life goal to do that. All right. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go chug a whole entire Red Bull, amp myself up for the amount of DMs that I expect to be happening within the next 5 minutes.
I need my people to come through on that as well. Go blow them up. Don't let me down. So yes, again, go follow this man, Irish Bryan, on all social media, especially that TikTok right now. He needs to rebuild that one up. Thank you
Oh yeah.
again for being here. Please, if you're watching, keep those comments coming, even on the replay. I'll be checking in as often and getting back to you. We want your interaction. This should also be up on YouTube, so you can rewatch it there as well. Uh, I've said this 3 times, but I'm gonna say it again. Thank you so much again, Brian, for being on the show.
Thank you. Mm.
I appreciate you. I'm gonna let you go. You go do whatever you said you was gonna do.
I'm
Much
probably
love,
gonna
man.
eat a cake.
Eat a cake. Much
Yeah.
love, Famo.
All right.
I cut him off. Hopefully it was done. My bad if you weren't, man. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching. In case you didn't know, I have a show coming up tomorrow as well. That's going to be at noon my time, 2 o'clock Eastern. So tune into that. I'm going to have another one of my very good friends. And this is going to be a first time interview for Hype as well. I'm going to have the Bastard on here and another guest, G Blunt. And they're going to be announcing some pretty new stuff that nobody but only me knows about. So don't freaking miss out. That is tomorrow on episode 2, season 2 of Let's Get Hype as Fuck podcast. Much love. I'm out.